apply your awareness and you really intimately get to know yourself in a very particular way. Not necessarily conceptually, but through this whole process of bodily experience. And Feldenkrais's argument would be, body's probably a good place to start, because could you be anywhere else? Can I be over there and my body be here? So you might as well start off with bodily experience, because it's pretty primary. So you start off with not just the body, because, you know, when people say body in the Western world, I can't talk about other cultures, but I can talk about Western culture. When most people say body, they mean the physical stuff, the flesh. If you think of the word corpse, something that the life has now gone out of it, that's still physical stuff. In German, they do have that distinction. You have Körper, which means the physical, the fleshy body. But then also in German, they have the opposite, Leib, which is the lived body, the body of experience, the body that is living, animated, moving, and you are conscious and you have experiences. But in our Western English-speaking world, we then have to cobble together a sentence. We just use body. And most people go, yeah, body, somatics, yeah, that's about the body, isn't it? It's just about the flesh. Well, somatics is more than just about the flesh. Yes, you are a physical body. But the experiences that can come out of you being a physical body, located in a physical world, that's where self-knowledge comes from. Does that make sense? And that's what we're interested in. We don't want to dismiss that we have a skeleton. We don't want to dismiss that we have connective tissue. We don't want to dismiss that we have certain kinds of receptor organs that detect light and touch and temperature and all these different things. We are all those things. We are all those fleshy things. But at the same time, we are animated. We're alive. And out of that animation comes experience. So really, when Feldenkrais says, know thyself, what he's strongly arguing for is for you to focus on oops, that's not a G, bodily experience. Associated with moving, posturing yourself, interacting with the world, everything that can arise from being a body, moving, being with people, etc., etc. That's what he's on about. And that's his argument, that that is probably the most concrete way of doing it. Yeah. Six. Could be. That could be the seventh. At the turn of the century, there was this British neurophysiologist by the name of Sir Walter Sherrington. And he postulated that there was actually a sixth sense. And the sixth sense that he postulated was kinesthesia. Your sense of being a moving being. And even to this day, if you go into most neurophysiology textbooks, chapter on vision, oh, many, many pages. Yeah? Chapters on hearing, many, many pages. Olfaction, starting to get a little bit less. Touch, a little bit less. Bodily sense, kinesthesia, maybe a page and a half. So you can see where priorities lie. But yes, you could say that you are able, with your awareness, to notice thoughts. But do you have sensory receptors for that? No. So it's not quite a sense, but it is something that you can pick up on. Yep.
Is kinesthesia the same as proprioception, or is that different?
Oh, okay, that's a great question to ask. So I'm going to give you my spiel on it straight away. Okay, so the question was, is kinesthesia the same as proprioception? And the answer is, depends which textbook you read. Generally speaking, no. Kinesthesia refers to the sense of movement. Proprioception refers to any sensations that you have of yourself in the joints. It's really confusing.
So is that another sense?
It's another conglomeration. So I'll give you my take on it, which I think is most useful. It's actually not my idea. It comes from an American psychologist by the name of J.J. Gibson, who founded the field of ecological psychology, some of which I'll be talking about this week. But proprio means my own. So proprioception is any perception that you have that tells you something about yourself. Does that make sense? From just a root, an etymological foundation, if proprio means my own, and I'm perceiving things, then any perception that I have that tells me something about myself is proprioception. But that's not what you'll find in the general textbooks. So if you want to know what's in those textbooks, look it up. But when I use proprioception, that's how I understand it. So with my eyes, I can see you in the room, and now I have a choice. I can be interested in you and where you are, and that's how I'm using my vision. Or I can use the same visual information to go, you're there, I'm here. Yeah, I know where I am in space because I see you. I know where I am in space because I see the room. So vision is a form of proprioception. Yeah. Yeah. So every sense that you can have, all six of them, one of them being primary, can be proprioceptive. When you put a piece of, what's that fizzy stuff, sherbet on your tongue, yeah? You know it's sherbet, but at the same time, you know it's you because you're tingling. So where do you want to put your attention? Onto the sherbet or onto you? Do you want that sensation to be proprioceptive, or do you want it to be about the sherbet? Where do you want to put your attention? Ooh. Whoa, good throw.
There was this quote that it's in my head from the Bhagavad Gita, and it says, an eternal portion of myself, having become a living being in the world of life, draws to itself the five senses, with the mind for the sixth, abiding in nature. And perhaps maybe that we're tapping onto proprioception experience as that abiding in nature, potentially.
Yeah, could be. Could be. So, well, yeah. For those of you who are new in that room, that little devious orange box that jumps all over the place is for a very particular purpose, and that is we try to create a record for those days that you miss, that you can listen to the record.
So those of you who've started your catching up know how really important this is and how frustrating it is when you can't hear what the question or the comment was. So I encourage you all to to be microphone monitors. This is a microphone. It's reasonably sensitive, but it helps to hold it fairly close to your mouth. So I'll hurl it at people periodically. Please throw it at each other or go after it if you want to say something.
Please do. And I know I can be lax in reminding you. So if I forget, please remind each other. Yeah. Okay. Thanks. So so if you're getting to know yourself, proprioception is the place you need to be at. You need to refer everything back to you. Otherwise, you're not learning about yourself, you're learning about the world. Most of our, and as remember I said this morning, most of our time, most of our education is about learning about the world. Very little about us. Yep, there's a hand. No. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we did a little bit this morning.
There was a request for us to do another round of just my name is and I'm from, so that everybody.
Oh, okay, we can do that if you'd like. Is that nice? Like to do that? Okay. Do you remember what the questions were? Because I totally don't. Do you remember what the questions were, Jenny?
What questions? Oh, no, we don't need to do questions. Just name and location.
Oh, okay.
Just to help people start to put.
Well, who'd like to take the orange cube first?
Philippa would indeed. Jump.
So, please, when you get the orange cube, state your name, where you're from, a little bit about yourself, and then pass it on.
I'm Philippa, I'm from Perth, and I do not like the orange box. And this was Anna's suggestion.
I'm Anna, and I'm from Sydney.
It needs a bit more juice. No.
I'm Anna, and I'm from Sydney. I can't think of a third thing to say, but like someone else will probably think of something interesting, and then I would have thought I could have said that, but I don't. So I'll hand it on to you. And you can.
I'm Sue from Sydney, and I don't like the orange box either, Philippa. Oh, I don't like the orange box.
Oh, thank you.
Who wants it? Come on. Ready? Hang on, I'm going to chuck it.
Then you'll really know where you are.
Here? I'm Julieta, or Julieta, and I like this because I wasn't here in January and I was watching the videos, and it was really useful for myself, maybe for other people to to get, because you have a rhythm watching and then disappear. And you know, something happened there. And I just missed it. So, good. And I think I was expecting probably from Soren and Susan repeating the question when, they're going to say that loud. No. So, I like it. And I'm coming from Victoria, from Castlemaine.
I'm Elizabeth, and I'm from Inverleigh, down near Geelong, and I'm just really happy to be here.
Hi, I'm Angela, and I'm from Melbourne, and I'm glad we're all back together. Hello, I'm Alison, and I like the orange box too because I'm not very loud normally, and this helps be a bit louder. So I'm from Canberra, and I'm delighted that we're all back together.
Hello, I'm Melody, and I'm from Auckland, New Zealand. And yeah, just really lovely to be back with you all again.
Hi, I'm Toya, and I'm from Dannyburg, New Zealand. And yeah, looking forward to meeting everybody. Dannyburg in New Zealand.
I'm Linda from Canberra,
I'm another Anna, and there's 3 of us here normally, so I get called Anna, just to have a bit of a distinction. Anna from the Blue Mountains, but originally from Aotearoa, so hello to the Kiwis.
Hello, I'm Jane from Adelaide.
And I'm Loretta from Adelaide.
I'm Silvia, I live in Sydney. I'm originally from Buenos Aires, Argentina.
I'm Chelsea from Bunyip, which is like out in the country, away from Melbourne a bit.
I'm Beck, and I'm feeling terribly fortunate because I live 15 minutes that way.
And I'm Ruth, and I'm from Western Australia. So, yep, there's 2 of us now, and it's nice to meet you all. Actually, to my...
G'day, I'm Mark. I'm from Mooroolbark, which is about 25 k's east of here. Handy.
Hello, I'm Leah, and I'm from Croydon, which is about, I guess, 20 minutes away, so I'm pretty close.
Hello, I'm Helen. I'm from Newcastle in New South Wales.
Hello, I'm Jane, and I'm from Toowoomba in Queensland, and it is nice to be here and see you all instead of just on videos.
Hi everyone, my name's Julie. I'm from Canberra.
Hi, I'm Kevin, and I'm from right here.
Hello, I'm Ryan, and I'm not too good with remembering names, and I won't blame anyone for not being very good at remembering mine. So, but I really do look forward to meeting you all in natural time.
Hi, I'm Georgia, and I'm just crashing for a week here. I'm from Melbourne, and yeah, I'm just kind of crashing the course to see if I'm into it for the next stake.
I'm Kwan from Singapore.
I'm Nina from Melbourne, originally from Moscow.
I'm Kat, I'm from Melbourne. I'm Emma, and I've come from Brisbane, and I'm finding it quite cold.
I'm Lachlan, I'm from Brunswick, Melbourne, and I'm really bad at remembering names too, so I don't even have my lanyard on. I should. I'll just use everyone's lanyards and look at them all the time. So.
I'm Gloria, I'm from Brisbane. Anybody else?
I'm Zoran. I'm from Croatia via Melbourne via Sydney. There you go. Anybody else? Pass that on.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were going to love it.
I'm Mia, and I'm the lone soul from the Sunshine Coast.
I'm Ruth, and I'm a practitioner, and Jenny mentioned before I'll be coming in and doing some advice with you. Anybody else?
Just going to catch.
All right. Jenny.
I'm Jenny from out in the hills in Melbourne.
Okay. No, it's okay. So does that answer the question about proprioception? Yeah. 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 So I'm not sure how other people will talk about proprioception because other people come from different fields. But from the field of cognitive science and my thinking in somatics over the years, this is what just makes the most sense to me. If you're going to have a name that's rooted in very particular words, well, it better mean what it says, rather than sounds a little bit low. There we go. How's that? That better? Okay. I look like a nerd, but that's okay. I gotta wear the title. So if it's got to do with proprioception, then it has everything to do with your experience. So to finish off that little talk, you just keep directing your attention to your experience again and again and again in every awareness through movement lesson. Yeah, that's what you're doing. Make it richer and richer and richer. And when you go to read the awareness through movement book, which some of you already have, you realize that's exactly what he's saying when he says you're trying to elaborate the self-image. Yeah, I know, it just went a little bit fuzzy. It's just been adjusted.
I'm just trying to tweak that.
So that's through the experience of attending to yourself, you are elaborating the self-image in conjunction with making variations in movement. That's basically what you're doing in awareness through movement. It's quite a simple model. It's not a complex model. Yeah. Here it comes. Yay.
Soren, can I just ask about self-image, which I think is a really helpful idea. And, you know, we talked last time about, you know, if you like a map you have in your brain.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd just be interested in your and others' views about, we have a self-image, which is often the one that we create, say, standing in front of the mirror. Like, should I wear this? Should I? It's like, I would call it a kind of conscious self-image. It's not the right words, but the one that, if you like, we're thinking about in relation to changing our habitual use of our body, the brain map is actually not so much a conscious self-image, is it? So how would you think about the relationship between those two, if you see? Because in a way, what you're trying to do is consciously make changes to get a change in an unconscious self-image.
Yeah. So I said the model was simple, the explanation's more tricky. Yeah? Because that's what you're asking. You're asking about for a neurophysiological explanation of how that happens. Now, one thing, as you go and read more and more of Feldenkrais's writings, what you start to realize is he never develops what you'd call a precise vocabulary. Most of his terms are very general, and this is one of them. So his concept of self-image is very confusing because he'll use it for the somatosensory representation on the brain, but then he'll use it for another thing. And so he switches and changes, and then, of course, you try to guess what it is based on the context of the sentence in which it's delivered, which makes it for very hard work. So that unconscious body image that you're talking about in psychology is usually referred to as the body schema. And body image usually refers to, you know, you look in the mirror, you have, oh, this is how I am, this is how I imagine myself to be. That's usually body image. But the explanation is just as complicated one way or the other. If I can answer it simply, and that is every experience that has some salience, some meaning, some value to you gets layered down in the activity of interneural connections. That's what happens. We label that learning. So whether you've learned, I like myself, I don't like myself based on visual feedback or comparing yourself to magazines or whatever, it's what you're attending to. So as you're there, this morning doing this and this and this and this or whatever you were doing, the more you attend to, in other words, the richer and the deeper you go into your experience, the more you lay down all these various complex neural connections. That's what neuroplasticity is all about. And attention is the spark. You spark it off with attention, it kind of gets wired in short-term memory for a little while. Practice and really embeds it. So if you pay attention to external images of what it is to be a good-looking human being, and you really value that image, you'll reflect it back on yourself, and that will get wired in. And this is what we do all the time. So that internal process of wiring in, we have some say over it in terms of where we want to put our attention and where, how, and what we value. Shift the attention, shift the values, the wiring shifts. Is that okay for a temporary explanation? Yeah. Anything else before we go into another lesson? Look at me holding on to myself for dear life. Yeah.
When you say intention, wiring, we're shifting one wiring, intention, that kind of variations. So you're just saying we are doing it with awareness. Whatever we experience, we are experiencing with awareness of something that move us into the phase of creating this image.
Yes, and I'll talk a little bit more about that.
Okay.
When I start to talk about the different kinds of attention.
All right.
So, but to give you a very quick answer, there's attention that is what they call bottom up. You just get attracted to things. You know, someone makes a sound over there, your attention goes over there. You're not really in control. You just tend to go over there. And that comes from our history of being, you know, living in different circumstances or trauma or whatever. But then the question you're asking is about top-down attention. Attention that you can direct like a spotlight intentionally, which means you're using your awareness. I want to now pay attention to this. Now I want to pay attention to that. Now I want to pay attention to that. And now I want to pay attention to the relationships between those. That's top-down. Both work. So we'll cover that more and more as we go. There are all these different kinds of attention. Is that good enough for now?
Yes, thank you.
Now, just before we launch into the ATM, this is, I can't remember whether I said it before, so I'm going to say it again. Please feel free to come up and talk with me, ask me questions. If I sound a little bit elusive and you want to be more specific, come and have a conversation. I'm most happy to have a conversation. If I happen to be just about to do something else, I'll let you know, not to fob you off, but to have a conversation with you. And I think Jenny probably feels the same. So please feel free to approach us and talk with us about anything related to what we do in the room and other things. And we're most happy to, because that's what we're here for. Yep. Please.